Hey guys, Superhuman Customs here. I'm Steven Human. Now you'll notice something behind me right here. Now, for those of you who watch all the time, you'll notice that I generally have four. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then right here, there's generally a fourth glass cabinet. Unfortunately, this morning I was working at my desk because I work from home as a novelist, obviously, and I was working on my new novel when all of a sudden there was a little pop and one of the sides of the glass just shattered out of nowhere. I don't know if it was because there was too much weight with the toys. There was a Hulk statue on top. I've had them for probably 5 years at this point. I've never had a problem. So that happened. Not my favorite thing. And so I've had to triage my action figures. I had to take them all out. I had to take it down. I didn't want anything else to break. And so it's been a bummer. So I have a whole bunch of figures on my desk, and I've decided to take one of them. I'm gonna do some therapy painting. I love the Henry Cavill Superman. He's probably my favorite. I love the Christopher Reeve Superman too, but there's just something, like when he was in Count of Monte Cristo like 20 years ago, I seriously was like, that kid should play Superman. And I always paid attention to his career. And so when he was like cast as Superman, I was like, ooh, called it. But this suit from the Justice League movie is a little bit too dark. So I'm actually gonna take some of this, what we used on Azrael Batman, and I'm just gonna dry wash this guy and lighten him up. That's all I'm gonna do, just as a little therapy session with my busted cabinet. So let's go ahead and let's be calm and peaceful, and let's make this guy look really cool. So I ran a quick little test right here on his leg with that paint. You can see it lightens him up, it's shiny. I think it's gonna look pretty good on his whole body. So let's go ahead and move into it. We're going full dry brush, so I'm gonna get off as much paint as possible here and just have it be so that it's very light. That's all we wanna do, is have it hit the edges. You can see it's already lightened him up pretty nice. This isn't a figure that I planned on doing anything with. He's kind of in the back of the shelf. And of course, with the destruction today, having him stand next to the other Superman, which he doesn't usually do, it became quickly apparent that I did not like how dark he was. And since I developed this habit of transforming my figures into what I like, I figured this was a perfect opportunity to take. This is really nice because I've long wanted a lighter Superman and never thought I would get one. And now that I've been doing this long enough, I realize, I can do it myself. I can just go through and lighten him up a little bit and make him look the way that I think he should look. And he can be my version of the Henry Cavill Superman and not anyone else's. So I'm liking how this guy is turning out. The dry brush is hitting just right, lightening him up just enough. And I am pleased. It's taking away a little bit of the sting of having to pull every one of my action figures off of the shelves today, which was a surprisingly emotional experience. I'd had those things set up. They looked wonderful on the shelves. And then suddenly I'm having to pull them off. And that's not what I wanted to do on a Monday morning. Yeah, this is surprisingly soothing, going through and doing this. Especially when it's not expected. Like most of the time, I think a great deal in advance of what I'm going to do and how I want a figure to look, and just having it be, I want this guy to be lighter, and then going through and doing it is really nice. And I think he looks really great. I mean, we know from what we've done in the past and from working with other figures that you want to start with a darker base, and this is obviously pretty dark. And so now with this lighter just hitting these textures all over him, I think it's looking pretty great. I'm just gonna keep moving through and adding the dry brush nice and subtly so that he looks the way that I think he should look. Nothing more complicated than that. And you know what, while we're here, I'm gonna do just a little bit of dry brush of black on his hair, just to catch some of the edges, just to make some of those edges stand out. I think that it'll just make his hair look that much better. And there you have it. A very simple custom, but a therapeutic one. I never enjoyed how dark his suit was. I like now that it's lighter, it's got a little bit more of a shine to it. Let's take a look at the side by side. You can just see how he stands out more, the definition, the muscles, his hair is a little bit shinier. This guy is superior to how he was, that's for sure. I think he looks really cool. So this was very helpful for me dealing with the loss of my cabinet and having to take all the toys down. And hopefully in the coming weeks, that will be replaced and I'll be able to put all of them back up and the world will be as it should be once more. As always, I'm Stephen Human with Superhuman Customs. Feel free to check out my novels at stephenhuman.com. They're pretty awesome. And I will have another custom for you in the coming days.